That's not how you fold.
Mr. Heap, tell her to stop annoying me.
I fixed the light.
Director of The Sixth Sense, M Night Shyamalan, doesn't waste his time telling his two children store-bought fairy tales. Instead, he makes them up with his own vivid imagination, adding his own take to the classic bedtime story. He says Lady in the Water was one nightly tale that needed to be told on the big screen.
This movie was really unusual because I'd had this idea for a long time, maybe a year and a half prior to actually going into pre-production on this one. It was a bedtime story that I told my kids that kind of went on for days and weeks and, you know, developed into this kind of odyssey, and then they said, oh wow, you should make that into a movie, which they say all the time, but on this one it actually kind of rang true, kind of like, wow, this is really unusual. There's something about it at its heart that made me want to tell it every night.
Knight adapted this bedtime story for the screen, where the characters come to life and try to rescue a lost stranger that Superintendent Paul Giamatti discovers as he's cleaning the swimming pool. As with all of Knight's tales, there's always a moral to the story.
The moral of the bedtime story is that you need to find your purpose in life. And so ultimately, when you come out of the movie, you should feel this incredible high for hope for yourself and for others, that everybody finds their purpose and we'll all be able to do what we're supposed to do on this planet. And so each of these characters are befuddled a little bit because they're not quite sure what their purpose is. And so one by one, and Cleveland is the main character, he finds his purpose.
Knight, who grew up watching Jaws and Close Encounters, says he cast Paul Giamatti in the role of Cleveland because he was his perfect Richard Dreyfuss with the balance of humor and humanity.
Did the eagle come? Did something go wrong? Story?